Chapter 3. New Directions. Paying Your Way. "That's the end of our rules for today," Gunny said. Jamal sat back in his chair and relaxed a little. "So, how are you doing?" the Rev asked. "Where are you staying? Got any work lined up?" "Staying with my sister," Jamal said. "Half-sister. She said I could stay a few days." "It's been a few days since I met you," the Rev said. "Yeah," Jamal said. "Yeah." "Got a backup plan?" the Rev asked. "Not really," Jamal said. "Maybe you can pay some rent to your sister," Gunny said. "Might make her more inclined to keep you on a little longer." "I've only got like $30 and some change," Jamal said. "You eaten any of her food?" Gunny asked. Jamal nodded. "She's putting a roof over your sorry head," Gunny continued. They sat in silence for a while. "Job prospects?" the Rev said. "Nothing," Jamal said. "Any place hiring, they have you ever been convicted on the application? You tell the truth, ain't no way they're going to hire you." After a pause, he went on. "Only place hires people like me around here is the packing house. Worst damn work anywhere. Freezing cold, wet, bloody, and damn dangerous too. Guys lose fingers every day. They get cut up bad." "They hiring?" Gunny said. "They always hiring. Least that's what I heard back when—" "So that's a possibility," the Rev said. "Yeah," Jamal said. "It's a possibility. Something to do while you get things together," the Rev said. "And meanwhile," the Rev continued, "to help you get started looking further, there's the library just up the block from here. They got a lot of job resources. Help you get yourself online with a resume and all the stuff you need these days. First job you take doesn't have to be the last," the Rev said. "You do know that." Jamal nodded. He finished his cup of coffee. He looked back and forth between the two men. "Oh, just so you know, you're gonna have more like $25, Gunny said. "How's that?" Jamal said. "Going to cost you $5 minimum to join our credit union," Gunny said. "Right up the street. Open right now." Jamal felt his shoulders tighten and clench his right fist. These old men telling him what to do with his money. Damn. He looked at the Rev, then at Gunny, then back at the Rev. The anger passed. Jamal sighed. He nodded. "Pay yourself first," he said. Both of the older men broke out smiles and nodded. The difference between broke and not broke. Jamal arrived at his sister's house tired, bone-weary tired. After the stop at the Pacific Avenue Credit Union, he'd walked miles, miles and miles. But he found out that, yes, they were hiring at the packing house. But he needed steel-toed safety shoes, and the Salvation Army thrift shop on the other side of town might have some. After his hike, he found out they didn't, but Goodwill Industries might, and that wasn't too far away. Jamal got lucky. Goodwill was still open. Even though he got there right at 5, they let him in. And they had some shoes, a little too big, but they would do. Another long walk and he met his sister as she was getting home from work. "Jennifer," he said as they got into the front hallway. Jamal took out his wallet and took all the remaining bills out. A 1, a 5, and a 10. "Thank you for putting me up here for a while," Jamal said. "Here," he said, giving her the money. "Ain't enough, but I want to help with the expenses, you know." "Good. That's good," she said, sounding surprised as she took the money. She paused. She looked at Jamal, and he met her eyes. "You're looking a little different," she said. "Had a lot of time to work out," he said. "No, not that. Just maybe a little older. More grown up." She smiled, just a bit. "Good," she said again, putting the expense money in her front pocket. She nodded and went into the kitchen. Jamal put his empty wallet away. Broke, he thought, except for a little loose change. Then he thought about the old-fashioned savings passbook he had in his shirt pocket and managed a slight smile. No, not broke, he thought. Just a little short on cash at the moment. Looking for work. Get online or give up. Parker. Damn Arvin Parker, Jamal thought. If there was one thing Jamal would do, he would find a job where he didn't have to work for Arvin Parker. The biggest pain in the rear end that Jamal had ever met, and that included a whole lot of teachers and social workers, and even corrections officers. Parker was dark-skinned, a little shorter than Jamal, but wiry and strong. He could have been 40 or 60, hard to tell with his shiny bald head. Jamal didn't like the man, but he didn't want to mess with him either. Parker supervised the day shift at the packing house, and he was all over everyone about stuff. But it seemed like he always had something extra for Jamal. Gotta be something better I can do, Jamal thought. He was motivated. He'd do anything to get away from that jumped-up, trash-talking, sorry old man. Jamal stood in line at the reference desk in the Pacific Avenue branch library. 2 little kids were in front of him, asking about books. Jamal looked around. The place was crawling with kids. Jamal got off work at 4, and by the time he got to the library, every computer was in use and kids were sitting around all the reading tables too. It was noisy for a library, Jamal thought. A kind of a busy, happy place, he was thinking, but not real quiet. Can I help you? A librarian asked. Jamal jumped back from his daydream. Sorry, he said. Need to use a computer. Got some work to do. Getting a job and such. May I see your library card? The librarian said. I don't have one, Jamal said. How much does one cost? The librarian, Mrs. Ross, it said on her name badge, looked a little surprised and smiled at Jamal. There's no charge. This is a public library, Mrs. Ross said. No charge for your library card and no charge for using the computers. You will, however, have to pay if you need to print things out. That's 10 cents a page. Marie, she said to another woman sitting at a desk behind the counter, can you step in here for a minute? I need to assist a new patron who needs a library card. For the next 20 minutes, Mrs. Ross, this nice, kind of middle-aged white lady, helped Jamal get ready to rid himself of Arvin Parker. First, the library card. Just a piece of plastic like a credit card with a barcode on it. He used his sister's house as his address. You don't live very far from our main branch, Mrs. Ross said. Sure, Jamal said. I know where it is, but I'm spending some time over on this side of town. I kind of like the neighborhood. So do we, Mrs. Ross said, smiling. So do we. Now, she continued, let me take you on a tour of our Employment Resource Center. We have books and online resources for resume preparation, career guides, employment databases, and, of course, access to all the websites with job listings. We've also got links to the State Workforce Development Center and... Mrs. Ross went on for about 10 or 15 minutes, talking about building an online presence and career resources and visiting job boards and more. She was trying to be helpful, but even with the handout sheets and brochures she gave him, Jamal was having a hard time taking it all in. Mrs. Ross was talking about another kind of online database, where she stopped and looked at Jamal. She smiled. Too much information, she said, mostly to herself. Sorry, she said now, speaking to Jamal. I helped plan and put together our Employment Resource Center. I get a little carried away sometimes. We have some great resources here for you, and we're here to help you get started using them. First things first, let's get you online, she said. Then Mrs. Ross showed Jamal how to sign up for computer time. She took him to a computer in a study room that wasn't in use and went through the login procedure. Jamal hadn't had much experience with computers in high school. The schools didn't have many and they were mostly old and slow, if they worked at all. And after he left school, well, working for Doughboy, not much call for developing your computer skills there. While he was incarcerated, Jamal signed up for computer classes, but he never got in them. Outside of those classes, any computer stuff had to go through JPay. What a rip. Music? Messages? Money? Yeah, sure. But it costs you. After Jamal logged into the library computer, he sat and stared at the screen for a minute. He sighed, turned, and saw Mrs. Ross still hovering fairly close by. He caught her eye and she came over. "I'm sorry," he said. "I never had much experience with computers. Played some games when I was little, but most of the serious stuff, I don't know very much at all. Would you mind helping me get started?" Mrs. Ross sat down next to him. She slowed down her flow of information and showed him how to use the web browser. She helped him create an email account. She explained how important your login name and password were and told him about some bad things that can happen if you get hacked. When Jamal left the library at 6, he was a little dazed, but he had a library card and an email address. He knew there was a lot more stuff associated with the email address, too. He had a cloud for storing things and programs for writing up resumes and letters. And one very cool thing Mrs. Ross explained to him, he could get to all his stuff from any computer anywhere, as long as it was connected to the internet. Even better, all of it was free. And he was signed up for a computer class at the library, too. It was mostly for older people who hadn't used computers much or at all, Mrs. Ross told him. "I may not have any gray hair, but the rest, that sounds like me," Jamal said. "Sign me up."